Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and this video will showcase the fastest cars in the GTA 5 service vehicles class, organised by overall lap time, with the top speed of each vehicle also shown in order to identify any outliers. All 13 service class vehicles have been put through their paces on my testing track and top speed run, and check out the intro video to this series as it likely answers any questions you have about this testing. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on future testing of new vehicles added to GTA 5 and beyond, and check out all other classes in the playlist. This video is brought to you by my real life racing series. Usually ranked as the best series I do by those who watch it, it really does contain some of my favourite videos to make. Catch up on all the action with the link in the description. So the service class, it might as well be called the bus class given how many of them we have here, with 6 of the first 7 vehicles all being buses of some description. We obviously start with the slowest bus in the game of the festival bus, which is basically a slower version of the prison bus from the emergency class, obviously just with a load of stuff tacked on the top that has to fall off to be able to get it around the track. The first lap is always an interesting one with that one. We do continue with the Dachshund, which is the fastest bus for top speed, but it really struggles around the corners in comparison to, for example, the regular bus, which we'll see next, and the airport bus, which end up in 11th and 10th places respectively. Now, both the regular bus, which you'll see driving around in traffic in the city, and the airport bus, which you obviously find at the airport, are basically identical in every single way, from body shape to handling stats, with one kind of strange exception. The airport bus has the tiniest fraction of a different better brakes, stronger brakes for whatever reason. Don't ask me, I don't know why, whether there's a reason for that or not, but yeah, the airport bus has very slightly stronger brakes. Other than that, both versions are identical. The Trashmaster is the interloper in this bus extravaganza, but while it's only 9th place for lap time, its top speed is good enough for 6th in class, and it would actually give it a helping hand if raced against our next 2 vehicles of the rental shuttle bus and the tour bus, so immediately back with the buses again. These are identical performance wise, we're going to see them back to back obviously, but the rental shuttle bus, the tour bus, they've got the same stats, they're basically identical, and it would be, obviously we can't race with any of these vehicles. There isn't a option for service class races in a race lobby, but it would be interesting if we could race with these 2 vehicles, these 2 sort of shuttle buses alongside the Trashmaster, because while the Trashmaster struggles for the lap time and the cornering ability, it has the higher top speed to make it up. So yeah, it would make an interesting tier, definitely. One thing to note is that the bus, airport bus, tour bus and rental shuttle bus all share identical top speeds. We take a massive jump in lap time of almost 20 seconds now to the Brigade in 6th place, but given its top speed is actually slightly slower than the Trashmaster, it's really the top 5 in the service class that are the ones that shine when it comes to performance and set themselves apart from the rest. First up in 5th place we've got the Brigade 6x6, which is basically a straight copy of the regular Brigade in most ways. The only reason it's faster for lap time and top speed is because it can have the usual performance upgrades like engine, turbo, etc. applied to it in the freak shop. The 6x6 is 5th in class on both metrics for lap time and top speed, and really it's only there, and it's only, like I said, quicker than the Brigade because of those extra performance modifications. Otherwise they're pretty much the same. But for 4th in both metrics we've got the Wastelander up next. This takes a massive jump in lap time once again to the 1:16s, which is a fairly reasonable lap time at this point. We're getting into some decent lap times that we've seen from, some of the bigger, bulkier vehicles from other classes. While the Wastelander's top speed isn't anything to write home about, it does have good grip and really excellent acceleration out of slow speed corners. The opposite is true of our 3rd place vehicle though, with the Taxi. It's only 4/10ths quicker than the Wastelander for lap time, and it would provide an interesting race between the 2 if that were possible, since the Taxi has terrible acceleration with a really, it's not very powerful at all, but it's got that higher top speed and incredible grip in the corners. It's actually the only vehicle technically to break 100 miles per hour for its top speed in this entire class, so it would be quite an interesting race between them, with them being sort of polar opposites. But in second place, a further 0.8 of a second quicker for lap time, is the Dune. This is the only service vehicle that can be used in regular races, namely the off-road class, and it's just such a fun thing to drive and race with. It's kind of quirky and crazy. It's similar to the Wastelander in that it lacks in top speed, so again would probably make an interesting tier alongside the previous two vehicles if we could race this class all together. But our number one vehicle in the service class is significantly ahead of everything else and technically doesn't even exist. The Taxi Custom's 1 minute 10 second lap time and 110 mile per hour top speed puts it head and shoulders above everything else on both metrics to make it easily the quickest service class vehicle by nearly 5 seconds per lap and 10 miles per hour for top speed. However, there's no such thing as a Taxi Custom. Technically, this is just a regular taxi with upgrades. It's very much not the same as something like Benny's vehicles, where when you convert, say, an Elegy into an Elegy Retro Custom, it becomes a completely separate vehicle and model with its own set of handling data. The Taxi Custom isn't like that. This is just a normal taxi like what we saw earlier in the video. For example, when you get in the car, it says Taxi, not Taxi Custom, and there isn't a separate model or handling data present in the game for the Taxi Custom. The name simply comes from the menu when you call this vehicle via Pegasus, but in reality, it's just a normal taxi that's been hard-coded to have the usual performance upgrades like engine and turbo, as well as a few visual modifications. But those upgrades do have a massive effect on its performance, and if you want to go through the pain of reaching Arena Wars sponsorship tier 25 to unlock it, it is the quickest vehicle from the service class. Not that you can do much with it beyond knowing that. It's not as if you can use it in races or change its upgrades in Los Santos Customs or store it in a normal garage. I guess you can use it to make taxi work a little bit quicker for the 5 minutes that you might spend doing that before you get bored. But one final quirk with this car to mention is that it's also hard-coded to have a spoiler upgrade, despite the taxi not having any spoiler upgrades in the game files, even if you were to try to upgrade it with mods. That means that your own version that you call from Pegasus will have the extra traction benefits of a spoiler, and is the version that I'm reporting here in this video, but if you then drive somebody else's, it won't, rendering it about 2 seconds per lap slower. All in all, a pretty weird vehicle to end this video on and top the service class. But that's everything for this video. Please consider supporting on Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want to support this work and get some extra perks for doing so, such as early access to videos and other testing results. Also remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, and subscribe for more. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.